Hi, Shane Jerman here from MST Systems. We've got a video today for Conte Sports. I've got my client coming down, Mark Felix. If you're on the Conte Sports YouTube, you probably know Mark, but if you don't, he's a world's strongest man competitor, giant slide competitor. He's been in the sport for nearly 2 decades now, so he's been doing it longer than even I have, and I'm usually the one saying how long I've been in strongman for. But he's coming down today to do an overhead press session. We're going to work on a couple of coaching cues and coaching points and go over some weaknesses and hopefully get on some of this lovely Watson equipment as well to do some pressing assistance work afterwards.
I think we came a long way round.
Do you know more? Or not?
Right? I only know the way to your old gym.
And I'll get this dumbbell pad out and dumbbell out.
Thank you for this.
Do you want a band? Yeah, we've got some bands over here as well. I'll just get this dumbbell pad out for you, Mark.
It's no bill.
Usually like 50 getting up in the spot, but for now it's just the rent was taking up repetition.
Can you do hands there?
Yeah. Like how you might do lift your knees. I should have done it too. So what's tightening your lower body from the just lower body, isn't it? So yeah.
How I laughed. Obviously he's not used to doing any cardio stuff. And I was like, put him on the assault bike, and he was like, I was saying, right, you have to go fast as you can for 30 seconds, and he's like, no, faster, faster. I'm surprised you can't hear me on the video, because all I'm saying is, faster, push, pull.
I think it'd be good to give him like a bit of just building that base of fitness again and some volume on the movements.
And then you did the load and carry, and there was 8 runs, and he's like, how many more?
It was alright in the end.
I would only do 2 minutes though, because it's quite hard. Just got to wing the warm-ups with him on the stepper. I don't think you see Mark Felix on the stepper very often.
I can't sleep.
Slow that down a bit.
Oh yeah. Okay. I only stopped it because you're getting too near the bottom. We do have one at the gym.
Yeah, where it goes to the side.
Yeah.
It's just there's a couple of different ways. There's a couple of different ways we can learn to get under it. Because you can actually, we could actually learn to split. But instead, because you sometimes stay quite high, so your head doesn't go down. If we could teach you to go down a little bit, that's the thing. So as long as you're going down, then the triceps have to go up.
Down. He doesn't dip enough, and then mostly does it so slow. He's doing a strict press almost each time.
But there are times where you get it right.
One time I used to be very good at it.
Yeah, I know.
I used to be my best overhead.
I know.
And then I just took that enough.
Is it because did you have a period where you didn't do it?
We didn't used to do it. We didn't used to do it.
It's kind of, it kind of went away. And log everyone was log, and then it's kind of coming back in now because everybody's getting a bit bored of log all the time, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, now we can work with it. We can find some stuff, figure something out. We need to find your landing position because you rack. Well, it got good. Your mum was saying that it's not. You've been missing your dip, but we get this rack first and this dip. So once we've got this down, we need to find where your feet go because I think they kind of go different places, don't they? So we just need to like pick and find the best. Yeah, stick with it. Yeah. So let's get this dumbbell into rack position first, and let's sort this dip, alright? And let's get this sat properly. So this is a little bit different to your dumbbell, I think. So let's dip a little slower, and you did this last time, you're going a bit fast down. Let's go slower, and let's get a little deeper, and just wait a second at the bottom. Are your legs sore?
No,
okay, yeah. That was a good one.
That was a better one.
Do you usually do it in these shoes as well, you dumbbell,
I
flat?
started making these shoes now.
Right, okay.
Did you used to do it?
Yeah, so I thought you used to do it in the shoes. Yeah, that was straight to lockout. You can tell, can't you, because they just snap to lockout. You can see when you do a little press. So yeah, that was good. But with your, let's just do one more, and then we'll get into this, because the rack position and dip looks pretty good, so that's good. So we'll get into the actual catch position afterwards, and we'll see what goes on there. Yeah, that was good. You should them. That's good. So what you're doing there is you're just kind of jumping and you're going back a little bit and ending up here. So your stance wasn't changing too much. The only issue there is you don't really want to jump back. Because if that dumbbell goes straight up and you go back an inch, it's now going to be in front, isn't it? So that would be the only thing. But oftentimes when people jump back, it's because the dumbbell's going back. Because what you're doing is if you're pushing it back, you're then jumping so that you're directly under it. What that means is that we need to get a straighter dip position.
Okay.
So you must have been, let me watch from this, I'll do it again, I'll watch from the side. The dumbbell's just going back a little bit.
Actually, now I think about it, you always do.
Sure.
You always go backwards. Now I think about
A few
it.
guys are small, a few guys.
I'm thinking about when you're at the gym because I always sort of think, oh, there's someone behind you. Yeah.
A few guys go back a bit. I look at Brian Shaw and those guys, but I think Brian Shaw, you just go back a lot.
But you do naturally go over.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that rather than him jumping out, you could just go.
Yeah, if you
one
can,
leg.
With one leg.
if you can.
Well, that might muddle you, so let Shane do whatever.
So you're going to lean to this side, still, yeah. But then as you extend, you'll need to go back down that way.
Go back down.
Yeah. So you're going to lean for the dip, but then as you drive, you're going to re-lean. That's how you do it.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's all the same goal,
Yeah.
which is instead of landing here, if you lean to the side, that hand comes down. Or if you jump out and land here, that hand comes out. Whichever, they're all doing the same thing, just different ways to do it.
Right, I understand.
And then you've got to decide, well, there's no right answer, it's like whatever you think
Yeah.
works. Okay. How does that feel?
A bit
You did a
heavy.
mixture of a million things.
A bit heavy.
Because
You went down though, but if you do another, because now you felt it. That was good.
Exactly is it that you're looking to make changes in terms of style and stuff like that?
So basically on Mark's dumbbell, he's got to the point where he's basically, as he's driving and extending with his legs, there's this clear transition period where it goes from leg drive into tricep extension. And Mark's overhead press is one of his weaker events, so loading that tricep at the second part of the dumbbell press, it's not going to carry us very far forward. So what we're trying to do is learn to move his feet and get his leg extension stronger so that he's able to jump under the dumbbell. So it just basically lands straight to lockout, so he doesn't have to press out with his tricep. It's quite hard to undo things that have been ingrained for a long period of time, so we're just trying to get a stance today. And also, is that competition's coming up, so it's hard to change technique when you've got to, if you've got a goal weight to hit, you've got to keep pushing the weight. It's very hard to change technique. So we've got some spare time now, because we don't have a competition, so we're stripping it right back, changing his stance, changing his landing position, and trying to remove that tricep from the equation so that we can, basically we need to get about 110 kilo dumbbell. We're stuck around the 95 area, so we're just trying to get like 10%-ish on the lift by changing his technique, and hopefully over the next few months we can do that. Is it hard to get it on? Oh, spot on. There's no press out at all, is there? Does it feel like it's just landing there?
Yeah, it just feels really good.
Yeah, okay, that's spot on. We'll do 1 rep at 70.
But when I went up to train it, I was struggling to get the 95. when I come back to the gym, I decided, shit, I need to work at this again. And then I went and I get to that level.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get you. We need you like 105, 110 area, don't we? If we can get 10% out of a bit of technical change, then that's all we. Like, because realistically, you don't even need to get stronger. You just need to get better at doing it. Yeah. So yeah. Right, let's get this one. Hopefully, do it perfect, and we can. That was good. I did about 10 really good ones in a row, haven't you?
That's good.
Yeah. Right, so my name's Shane Jerman. I am a strength athlete and strongman coach. I've been coaching for the last 6-7 years full time. But as an athlete, I've been competing in the sport of strongman since I was 17, so I'm coming up to 14 years in the sport now myself. I kind of got involved literally as soon as I joined the gym. So after the first year of training, I got straight involved in strongman. And being a smaller guy, I mean, when I first started training, I was like 75 kilo. I really had to rely on learning techniques and positions and understanding training methods rather than just relying on my genetics to, you know, just lift big weights from the offset. So that kind of tied into how I grew as a coach, because I kind of learned the best positions, the best ways to execute exercises in strongman. Because the strongman scene, like 10 years ago when I first started, nobody really broke things down technically. It was all about getting strong and lifting heavy weights in whatever form possible. Get it from A to B was what we were always told, instead of breaking down each individual position and getting really efficient at everything. So that's kind of how I first got introduced into coaching. Was I kind of learnt these positions and techniques myself. People started noticing me as an athlete and asking me for help on stuff, and then it kind of just transitioned from there into teaching other people the things that I learnt myself. Hoping that, yeah, we can put it up. We're going to go to the working weight, but we can get better legs than that, so we're going to hopefully get a bit more as we go on for the sets. Pressing position though looks really good. And your line is very straight upwards, which is good. It's not going forward. Tiny pause. Pause.
Pause at the bottom. Pause and then right.
I'll let him off because they're really good. Good.
Yeah?
Sometimes you make that noise that goes,
I think log is. I think axle more easier than log.
Oh, you prefer axle?
Yeah.
Okay.
and you still have got to get used to driving out of it fast. Sometimes our discussions are, that was slow-mo.
Right, come back to this
Alright, no
second set. So tiny pauses in the dip. So I started coaching full time about 7 years ago, and then I transitioned into the brand MST Systems, which is Modified Strongman Training Systems. And yeah, we just kind of grew from there. We've worked with quite a lot of high level athletes in the under 80, under 90, 105 and open scene. We've got quite a resume of athletes, to be honest with you, all across the world. And Mark approached us about a year ago because Mark's kind of reaching the kind of end of his strongman career. He's been in it a long time, and he was basically looking to add a cherry on top, because Mark was actually going through a period of a little bit of regression where everything was just slowly going down instead of up. So it wasn't even staying the same, it was slowly getting worse. So what we've been able to do with Mark over the last year is take him from a period of regression and kind of flipping it around and getting him progressing again. And he's actually getting to the point now where he's, in some of his events, he's the best he's ever been, like his yoke walks and his farmer's walk, his moving events, he's the fastest he's ever been. And his stone run, he's always been a good stone lifter, but stone lifting's about getting the stone run done in the fastest time possible. So we've been able to chip away 5 to 10 seconds on his stone run, which is the difference between kind of coming bottom positions and getting mid-table to top table. So we're making really good progress overall. And his pressing is still his weakest event, but again, we're making about 5 kilo progress every 8 weeks or so, which doesn't sound like rapid progress, but at Mark's age and training experience, I'm really happy with it, to be honest with you. And it means that if we can keep this pace, as we get into kind of mid next year, hopefully he's starting to get reps on stuff, because the Giants live shows have crazy weights, they've got 150 for reps, so you've got to be ridiculously strong to get 1 rep. At the moment, Mark's like just a little bit under there, so our goal is to get him on the scoreboard basically. Instead of 0 in the event, getting a rep and starting to get on the scoreboard, which we should be able to do in the next kind of 3 to 6 months hopefully.
Really open like that.
Right.
Maybe you don't know, but it's more like come train with me. But it just ends up being your help. So on your empty log, last 2.
Yeah.
Well done, one more. Nice, well done. That was good.
Alright.
Dude, the middle was great. A lot of volume on it. It's really good. That was really good. Really good.
Happy with the changes in progress made in that?
Yeah, so what we were working on there is basically Mark's dip, because we've worked on it a little bit about 6 or so months ago, but we've had a lot of competitions and it's really hard to keep drilling technique when you've got a certain weight to hit. We had to focus more on pushing the weight, and the dip kind of got a little, I'd say inefficient is a good word for it. So we've kind of made him pause in the dip position, spend a little more time there and go a little deeper, because the common mistake on log is people, they don't dip deep enough. It's going to turn into a short dip. And for most people, you need to get a little tiny bit deeper to get enough power transfer to kind of take some of the press out of it. So really happy with the way that looked at the end. It was looking a lot better than at the start, especially his 70 kick. Mark gets better as the sets go on as well, and sometimes he gets better as the weight gets heavier. So by that last set there, that was perfect. So pretty buzzing with that. When you extend out, come wide, just there, and then go slow back. And just go back there and then come back up again. So you don't need to go all the way down. You keep this head up, come a bit closer to this back. Yeah, I'm trying to hit, just stop there. And you should be able to do this. Keep that chest into here. Just hit 15 reps now. You're about 5. Let's just twist the elbow up. There. So we get. You don't need to come all the way back either, because this last bit here is just like scapular retraction, so it's just going to be getting your traps. Yeah. If we're trying to hit your rear delt, we only really need. It's quite a hard muscle to hit. Often people just hit the trap, so you've got to be quite intricate with your position. So there, and nice and slow back, so that we're engaging this. Yeah. You don't want to be squeezing that together as much. What does that weight feel like?
Squeeze, okay, but doing it empty hurts.
Doing it empty hurts, right?
Every so often we have some random things, like that 7.5 kilo, and Zoe and I were stood there and he went, it hurts.
Right, let's put that down and drop that weight into the last. We can do about Let's do five more reps with really slow tempo. So really slow on the way back as well. Yeah, that's it. Feel this really out. And then through, yeah, that's it. Good. And elbows up again. Just get there. Awesome, got there. So we're going to be hitting some shoulder stability work next. So in kind of strongman and powerlifting as well, it's a little different to say bodybuilding, where you want to train the muscles all around the shoulder joint to be as strong as say the triceps, so that you're able to express your strength better. Because if you've got weak shoulder stabilizers like external rotators and your rear delts, etc., then you're going to struggle to express your pressing strength properly, because if the shoulder joint isn't safe and stable, neurologically you can't send the signals to the muscle to contract as hard as you would be if you did have those muscles. So we're training rear delts here on this machine. Rear delts are extremely important. A lot of people know they're extremely important, but the problem with rear delts is a lot of people train traps when they do rear delts. They're a bit of an awkward muscle to hit, and people's mind-muscle connections usually, pretty bad with that muscle group. So they think they're getting a rear delt pump, they're just kind of getting trap pump. So with Mark, I'm just giving him a few cues, making sure he's doing a little bit of internal rotation to put his shoulder in the correct position so it hits rear delts. If you do them properly, you don't need much load, and the range of motion as well tends to be a little lower than what most people will do. But as long as you're effectively training the muscle, then that's the main goal of this exercise, to be honest. We've not really got much load on there at all. But you can tell that he's really struggling, he's really feeling it as well. So that's kind of what you want with your shoulder stability work. It's more about executing it properly and hitting the muscle group rather than getting loads of weight on there, so to speak. Yeah, that's kind of there, yeah. Yeah, good. So really slow tempo, let's keep the elbows up, yeah? Yeah, let's go slow back through here. Stretch, there we go. Slow, there we go. Just going to keep the chest up to that back. 2 more. Yeah, 1 more. Good. Last one. There we go. Slow back down. Perfect. Good. Perfect. Good.
You did it.
Yeah. So what we're going to do on this one, Mark, we're just going to do one arm at a time and take the opposite side. So we're going to let your right arm be on this left one. We're going to come down here. I'm going to reach up, hand facing this way, yeah? And then when you come down, you roll slowly and rotate as well. Get a good reach so that you're not heavier. There we go. Love these grips, Carl. We're just going to finish with a little bit of biceps. So yeah, a lot of people don't know biceps are really good for shoulder stability. A very undertrained muscle in strongman, people don't isolate it and they end up with bicep tears, and also the biceps responsible for decelerating yourself at a lockout, because you have to decelerate a lockout or else you snap your arm. So the long head of the bicep will be decelerating the arm at lockout overhead. So it's really important to train the biceps, and the incline dumbbell bicep curl is probably the best way to do that, especially with a fat grip as well. It's a really good way to train it for shoulder stability. So we're going to go over and do some of that now, Mark. Hopefully that weight's off to the right. 26. Yeah, this is one now. It's just really job schedule. Some months he doesn't do it. But he says the next month will be like put on the 3 grand shows, editing and this, that, and Right, so we've just finished the pressing session. It went really well. So we went on the dumbbell first of all, and I was really happy with Mark. He's basically got into a bit of bad habits because, like I said, we've been trying to push the weight a bit too much because the Giants live shows have been mad over the last 6 months. It's been competition after competition after competition, so it's been all about kind of heavy weights, and his technique's got, you know, a little slack. So we kind of like stripped him back, got him to start moving his feet a little better, getting much better extension and power into the dumbbell, and then he ended up getting 7-8 reps in a row really well, which is the issue on dumbbell. Everyone can do a good dumbbell after a couple of attempts, but it's putting them together and doing them consistently that's kind of the goal. So really happy that we got kind of 7-8 reps in a row perfectly. And then on the log press, we again stripped it back a little bit, got him to pause his dip, spend a little more time in that position. I want him to dip a little lower because he's been getting a bit of a short dip recently. He's been snapping his knees into flexion and extension really fast. So I want him to take a bit more time, go a little deeper, and then explode up. And yeah, I was really happy with that. We got that down real well. Finished with a little bit of rear delts, hit his lats. I like to do the unilateral lat pull down, a little bit of rotation for the shoulder joint, big stretch for the lat. And then we ended with some incline dumbbell bicep curls, just because Mark does have some previous bicep tear issues as well, so it's always good to keep on top of the bicep strength and isolation. Right, so if you go to the link in the bio, go to the Conti Sports website, check out all the supplements. I really recommend the Carb Drive, the intra-workout drink, especially for into your strength training. It's really important to make sure you get your carbohydrates in throughout the session, so really recommend the Carb Drive. I get all my clients to use that. It's absolutely amazing. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the Conti Sports YouTube channel for more videos.